Hi, I'm Alex Caravello from Landlord's Rent. Hopefully by now you've watched the short introduction video on the Landlord's Rent subscription webpage. As mentioned in the video, I've been a landlord for many years, and in that time I've learned many vital lessons the hard way. Lessons that I'm going to share with you during this mini-course so you don't have to learn them the hard way. Over the course of the next 7 videos, we're going to discuss how and why you should establish property management systems to streamline your property business, making it more profitable and allowing you more time to concentrate on other things. More time with your friends and family, hobbies, or other profitable ventures. It's about being proactive, not reactive. So, let's get started at the beginning. Today's video is about getting your paperwork straight, preferably before a tenancy starts. Firstly, understand how to properly reference new tenants. Will you use the services of a tenant referencing service, or will you do it yourself, i.e. personally write to employers, previous landlords, do the credit checks, etc. If you intend to do it yourself, always write to the applicant's current landlord and their previous landlord. Why? Because if they're a problem tenant, their current landlord may write them a good reference just to get rid of them. I suggest you charge a tenancy application fee to cover the cost of your time and expenses for the referencing. This will also help you weed out any time wasters. If you want help to decide how much to charge, find out how much your local letting agents are charging, then ask for a little less. Always get a landline telephone number for their employer and landlord or agent, and do a quick Google search to see if the telephone number corresponds with the address information supplied, or whether it's the number of the local pub or chip shop. Always do an online land registry search of the applicant's current address, and make sure it shows their landlord as the registered owner. It may also give the landlord's home address if they bought the property whilst living elsewhere. Check this against the information supplied. To do a land registry search, go to www.landregistry.gov.uk and click on Find a Property. It'll cost you £4. Always undertake a financial record search of each tenant and the guarantor. This will give a record of their previous addresses and whether they have any outstanding or satisfied CCJs. These can be done cheaply through specialist companies. For example, a National Landlords Association tenant check costs £8. I advise you always ask tenants to provide a guarantor, in the event that the tenant loses their job or gets into other financial difficulties. I'd like to have guarantors that are homeowners, because you can put a charge on their property if they don't pay up, which they won't want you to do. If the tenant cannot or won't supply a guarantor, consider asking them to pay extra for rent protection insurance. Secondly, get a good quality tenancy agreement in place. Don't use a free tenancy agreement. It may not provide the legal protection afforded by a properly written tenancy agreement. Instead, use an agreement produced by a recognised landlords association, like the National Landlords Association or Residential Landlords Association. Why? Because a properly written tenancy agreement contains all sorts of clauses that strengthen your position as landlord and create a more robust framework for the tenancy. If you end up relying on your tenancy agreement in legal proceedings, you will want to make sure it stands up to scrutiny. To contain all the important clauses, your tenancy agreement should be at least 8 to 10 pages long. Make sure it contains clauses relating to the tenant's financial obligations to pay their rent, and what to do in the event that they leave the property early, leave it in poor condition, miss any rent payments, or cause damage to the property. Thirdly, get a professional, independent property inventory done. This will prove invaluable in the event that there is a damage or deposit dispute during or at the end of the tenancy. To give you an idea of how much this costs, an NLA inventory will cost from £88. Finally, make sure you have your direct debit mandate in place, so that when you do find your ideal new tenant, you're in a position to ask them to provide their bank account details on the mandate and set up their direct debit rent collection account using Landlord's Rent. Don't worry though, we provide you with a direct debit mandate form to give to your tenants. Hopefully, this short video has given you some ideas of the kind of paperwork you'll need to get in place for each and every tenancy. Keep an eye on your inbox over the next few days for the second video in this mini-course. To your continued success.